So starting off with the main deck here, we're starting off with triple of the Fire King Courtier Volcanics, fantastic piece of support from Rage of the Abyss, acting as a one-card starter alongside our Ponix now, meaning that our Fire King Dinos are just that much more explosive. So what does Volcanics do? Well, on normal or special, it's going to be able to destroy one other fire monster in your hand or face-up field, and if you do, you add one Fire Beast Warrior or Winged Beast monster from your deck to your hand. Usually you'll be grabbing Ponix, and then on resolution, Ponix will be special summoning itself because a fire monster was destroyed, and then you'll be able to basically go full combo from there, and that bridges into your Dinosaur combo as well, as I will explain further along into the deck profile. Also, we have the secondary effect of Volcanics that when it is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Fire King High Avatar Garunix from your deck in defense position. Now, this means that we do have to play a brick, which is the High Avatar Garunix. However, it's a level 8, so it actually helps in some situations to just play it in the main deck, and I am playing it in the main deck. Some people don't. I think it's a great level 8 body just to get for free off the Volcanics, because your main combo will destroy it, and you'll effectively have 2 to 3 level 8s, allowing you to do a lot of pretty cool stuff, to be honest, with the rank 8 plays. So we're playing triple of the Fire Courtier Volcanics. We're playing triple of the legendary Fire King Ponix. Again, another one-card starter. This will be able to get your Sanctuary get your Island get Garunix destroy and send. And we're sending a very specific Fire King, which actually bridges into our Dinosaur combo, if you guys didn't know. So that is why Ponix and Volcanics are so good, because we essentially need to get to the big Garunix, as that bridges between both the Fire King engine and the Dinosaurs. So I kind of already went over what it did, but let me just summarize again. It's going to special summon itself from hand if a fire is destroyed by battle or card effect. It's going to, on summon, be able to add you a Fire King spell or trap, and during the next standby phase, if this card was destroyed, you're going to be able to add it back from the graveyard to the hand. So I don't know how many guys have you caught on, but this is an infinite loop with your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno will destroy one monster from your field or hand, and Book of Moon the whole field. Ponix will then be able to add itself back from the graveyard to your hand during the standby phase, and you can just repeat this until you win the game. So that's a really cool infinite loop the deck actually has. And as I said, this deck, as I said in the intro, this deck is extremely budget. I think this is the budget deck to be playing for all these new players out there, and it's super cheap. I think the most expensive card in the main deck is actually the Volcanics, as it is secret rare, and you do play 3, but I think they're around £7 each, and then the rest of the deck you can probably get for £15-20, so probably £50 gets the whole main and extra. It's super cheap, maybe a bit more because of the Salmon Great Link 4. Maybe around £60 to £70 gets you the whole main deck and extra, and then you just got to build a side, and the deck is pretty much ready to compete as is. We have triple of the Fire King High Avatar Kirin. This card with a Volcanics is full combo, and it's more than full combo. It's full combo with so much extra interruption. What you do is you normal Volcanics, use the effect, chain Kirin, destroy Volcanics, summon Kirin, Volcanics destroy Kirin, resolve, you add Ponix, and then Kirin will reborn the Volcanics from the grave, and Volcanics will special summon your High Avatar Garunix from the deck as well. So just with that little interaction, you get like 3 cards on the field, and you're going to be searching off the Ponix. This is also really good if they want to Veiler, if they want to Imperm, if they want to do anything really to your Volcanics. You can chain it. You can chain your Kirin to the targeting negation, and then just dodge it, and still go full combo with Source. So absolutely crazy card. Works so well with Volcanics. It's beautiful how well it works. For the one-offs, 1 Sacred Fire King Garunix. This isn't a pure Fire King deck, so I only play the 1. If we were playing pure Fire King, I'd definitely be playing 2, but 1 is perfectly fine. It's basically just special summons itself when a fire monster is destroyed by battle or card effect, and then on summon it's going to be able to destroy one Fire King monster from the deck, send it to the grave, and gain the attack. Obviously, that's going to be able to trigger the Fire King that you destroyed in deck, and if any fire monster is destroyed on the field and it is in the graveyard, it can then just special summon itself, which is absolutely fantastic. We have 1 of the Fire King Avatar Rangbali. This is our spell and trap negation. He has the typical effect that if a Fire King monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can just special summon this card from your hand. Then, if a spell or trap card is activated while this card is in the field, negate the activation, and if you do destroy one other fire monster in your hand or face-up field, which is, again, really fantastic. It doesn't actually do anything when destroyed, which is, I guess, the only downside, I'd say, of this card. But apart from that, the card is absolutely fantastic. We play one of the Elephant, which is the Fire King avatar of Atta. Same as Rang Bali, except it negates monsters. And also, when it's destroyed, it's able to reborn a Fire King monster in the graveyard. But then it is destroyed during the end phase, which actually works very well with Kirin. And another infinite loop you can do is Avatar and Kirin, because they can both just consistently just keep reborning each other. So you have 2 infinite loops right there in the deck. For our bridge, we play one Fire King avatar, Kirin, the OG one, not the high avatar, just the normal Fire King avatar. What does this do? Well, if a face-up monster on the field, a Fire King monster, it can special summon itself if any is destroyed. And then if this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can send one fire monster from your deck to the graveyard. So this is really bad in normal Fire King because it doesn't actually destroy, it just sends. However, we can send any fire monster, meaning for time, we have our Scattershot combo, which basically allows us to send Scattershot and burn our opponent. But we can also send a specific dinosaur called Miscellaneousaurus. Don't know if you've heard of this one, but it is a fire. And it by itself is full dinosaur combo, which is amazing. And of course, I will be proxying this in the editing. However, we have one of the OG Fire King Avatar Garunix. I ordered one ages ago, hasn't arrived, but thank you for editing, where we can just proxy it in. As I said, it's just a level 8 body, but it's a level 8 body nonetheless. And if it is destroyed, it can come back in the standby phase and basically nuke your opponents or the entire field of monsters, which is, it's not usually that good. However, it can come up in a grind game and it can come back, nuke. And I believe it has a 2,800 attack as well or something like that. So yeah, it's big. It's a level 8 body. We get it for free from the deck. It just sucks when you draw it. That is it for the Fire King monsters. For the spells and traps, we have double of the island and double of the sanctuary. I show these off together because these two pretty much go together. Sanctuary on activation will place a Fire King island from your deck to the field zone, and then it can protect the island by essentially, if it would be destroyed by a card effect, you can destroy one fire monster in your hand or face-up field instead, which is great, as your island does Raigeki you if it does leave the field. And if your opponent special summons a monster, you can immediately, after this effect resolves, Xyz summon one Fire Xyz monster using only Fire King monsters you control. And they have a level 8 Xyz monster, which is why it's so good that we play so many level 8. So not only is this a starter, it also acts as interruption during your opponent's turn, or whenever they special, really, which is insane, all you can ask for. And it has protection too, amazing. Fire King Island, it's again the archetypal rota with some extra steps. During the main phase, you can destroy one monster from your hand, and if you do, add a Fire King monster from deck to hand. Or if you control no monsters, you can special summon a Winged Beast monster, a Fire King Winged Beast monster from your hand. So 2 really good effects. It does have the downside that if it face-up card leaves the field itself, banished or graveyard, it will Raigeki your entire board, which is not good, and why the Sanctuary is needed to protect the island, but both go very, very well together. And for the last card, we play the one Fire King Skyburn. If you already open Sanctuary or Island, you can just search for the Skyburn instead. Target an equal number of Fire King monsters you control and cards your opponent controls, and you just destroy them. If a Fire King card you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So it has a Bailing's protection effect, and it's just a quick play pop in a deck that likes to be popped. I mean, what else do I need to say? You play at least one. In the pure builds, I like to play 2 of this just because it's that good. That is it for the Fire King aspect of the deck. It is a very big amount, but it all flows into each other super, super well, and it is all insanely grindy. For the dinosaurs, let's start off with the babies. Triple Baby Ceratosaurus, because we want to be opening this card a lot, because we want our Animadorned Archosaur to destroy this card from the hand, to search our pill, but then also be able to basically summon our Oviraptor from the deck. So we play triple Baby. Island can also destroy Baby to search for a Fire King too, which basically means you get to summon your Oviraptor search without committing your normal, and getting a search for a Fire King, which is amazing. And it's not once per turn either, so we can loop these guys and just get a bunch of dinosaurs into rotation. We play one of the Petit Pteranodon. It's not as good as Baby Ceratosaurus, because Baby Ceratosaurus is just very, very good. So Petit Pteranodon, it's good. It does level 4 or higher. This does level 4 or lower, meaning that we can both summon Miscellaneousaurus off this, but Baby is just the one that you just prefer seeing. But this can summon Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, can summon your Pancratops as well. In the side deck, you could side the Dinosaur Kaiju monster, so that is something that you can do. Summon your Oviraptor, search for the Kaiju monster, Kaiju something, which is amazing in this format, especially like Lacrimas you can Kaiju, so just get over them with no problem and then continue to play. So we play 4 babies. That's usually enough to see them fairly consistently in your hand, and again they just bridge with both decks very, very well. We play double of the Soul Eating Oviraptor. Why do we play 2 instead of 1? We play 2 because 2 copies of Oviraptor allows access to Lagia and Dolka, because they are the only level 4 dinos that we play. So 2 Oviraptors, which we can get onto the field very consistently off the baby Cerasauruses and the Petit Pteranodons, gives us not only its effect to either add or dump a dinosaur, not only the effect to Monster Reborn a dinosaur, but also serves as great material for our Lagia and Dolka, which are basically solemn strikes or solemn warnings or solemn judgments. So really amazing, fantastic card. Speaking of fantastic card, let's just get it out of the way here. 1 Misc. It's only because it's at 1. It's a fire. This deck gets a whole lot better whenever they decide to release the new Fire Link 2 monster. I don't know the name of it, but effectively what it does is you can target one of your banished fire monsters and add it back to your hand. That is absolutely crazy with Miscellaneousaurus, because Miss banishes itself to basically summon a dino out of the deck, and then that's it. That's your 1 copy of Misc gone. However, with the Link 2, we can make it in combo, grab the Misc back, continue comboing, and during our opponent's turn, if they challenge our Ultimate Conductor Tyranno with any card effects, chain the Misc and just make it unaffected, which is amazing. So what does Misc do before I get carried away with a Link 2 that we don't know when it's going to come out in the TCG, so I'm just coping and hoping it comes out in the next Battle of Legends set. During the main phase quick effect, send this card from your hand to the graveyard, and then during this main phase, your dinosaur monsters that you control are unaffected by opponent's activated effects. That is ridiculous to have on a searchable quick effect dinosaur, which is insane. Oh, it's also a fire. Why do we need this in the graveyard? Well, you can banish any number of dinosaur monsters from your graveyard, including this card, and special summon 1 dinosaur monster from your deck with a level equal to the number of monsters banished to activate this effect, but destroy it during the end phase. Why is this good? Because Misc on its own, banish Misc, summon a particular level 1 dinosaur, and then that allows you to search for your double evolution pill. Fantastic card. Amazing that it's a fire. Perfect bridge between both decks, along with the Fire King OG Kieran being able to send this to the grave. It just has so much synergy. You guys just have to play the deck and realize how well Dinosaurs and Fire Kings do combo into each other. That is it for our quote-unquote starter dinosaurs. We have some more dinosaurs here that are more just for the end board pieces. We have double of the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. You can play 1. I like having 2 because you can open 1 and then just summon another one with the pill. It's not once per turn either. It's a soft. So why not have double quick effect Book of Moon? Well, Book of Eclipses. It's why not? And it's also really big, 3,500 attack and 3,200 defense, and it's a level 10. So you can even do some spicy plays and go into the rank 10 pool if you really felt like it. I just really like this card. Let me tell you what it does if you don't summon it with the evolution pill. So it must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing 2 dinosaur monsters from your graveyard. The evolution pill doesn't negate, it ignores the summoning conditions, hence why you can summon it off it. Once per turn during the main phase quick effect, you can destroy 1 monster in your hand or field, and if you do, change all face-up monsters your opponent controls to face-down defense position. This with Ponix is an infinite loop, as I've said before. This with the baby Cerasauruses allows you to just special summon another dinosaur from the deck while Book of Mooning your opponent's entire field. This card is amazing. Also has, this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each at the start of the damage step. If this card attacks a defense position monster, you can inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent, and if you do, send that defense position monster to the graveyard. That is non-targeting, non-destruction removal on a card that can attack everything in the battle phase. So card is absolutely cracked, amazing, still the best dinosaur we got since it ever came out. Since it came out in the structure deck, it's just been that good since. It's pretty timeless card. We have 1 Pancratops. This is as well another option. This is a level 4 or higher. So we can summon Pankratops off of Petit Pteranodon. We can also summon Pankratops off of our double evolution pill because it is a level 7 or higher. So again, amazing. Card is now at more than 1. I side deck the other copies because I think having 1 in the main is fine. Gives you a bit extra push going second too if you draw it. It's very good going second. But I think 1 is fine for now in the main. You don't need more than that. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only do that once. And then on a quick effect, tribute a Dino Wrestler monster, then target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. Obviously, you're going to be destroying himself because we don't play any of the other Dino Wrestlers because they are just really bad. So, amazing card again. UCT is amazing. Pankratops is amazing. The Dinosaur boss monsters are just amazing. We also play 1 of the Animadorned Archosaur. People say play 2. But then I'll just draw 2 because I'm just built like that. So I just play 1 copy. Hope you don't draw it because if you draw it, you can't special summon it from the hand with miss. So it kind of is a big brick. You never really want to see this in your hand. But what does it do? All normal or special is going to be able to destroy a dinosaur monster in your hand or face-up field, except itself. Then add 1 reptile, sea serpent, or winged beast monster with the same original level as that destroyed monster. I haven't found a Fire King that's actually good to add off this, but in theory you could. Or instead of adding 1 of those monster types, you can just add a evolution pill from your deck to your hand instead, which is what you do 100% of the time. I don't know any Fire King that we could add off destroying a dinosaur. We don't really play any level 4s. We don't really play any level 8 dinosaurs. So it's a bit of a tricky one. If we played any level 4 dinosaurs, or Fire Kings, we could destroy a Fire King, or dinosaur, sorry, and add the Fire King. But we don't, so we just add the double evolution pill instead. We also have triple of the Fossil Dig, because Fossil Dig is a fantastic card. Non-once per turn rotor for any level 6 or lower dinosaur, which are the ones we care about, because they are the ones that get your big dinosaurs. We have 1 of the double evolution pill, because this card is again searchable with the Animadorned Archosaur, and basically just special summons a level 7 or higher dino from the hand or deck, ignoring summoning conditions. What you need to do is banish for cost a dinosaur and a non-dinosaur, which is super easy to do since we played the Fire Kings. We also have hand trap wise, triple Ash, and triple Imperm. We don't play many hand traps, we don't play Full Loss, we don't play any of the Dominus cards. We're trying to be a budget deck here, but these cards are just good enough. Yes, we're not going to stop all these decks from comboing with just an Ash and an Imperm. However, Imperm is good to draw going second, which is why I play it, and it also doesn't play into Thrust or Talents. And Ash is just good into usually every single matchup. It is a fire, so you got to be careful with that. You could arguably play something else. However, I just prefer Ash and Imperm. I think it's a good combo. You could play Nib. Nib Imperm is an amazing combo. However, with only 6 hand traps, I'd rather just pick hand traps that you can just use immediately. Instead of like stuff like Nibiru, where you have to wait for them to achieve a certain amount of plays. Or with the Full Loss package, yes, it's good to play. However, we're not drawing into any more hand traps, so we'll just be drawing into Fire Kings and Dinos. And I think the deck doesn't have a problem with running out of resources. I think it's more of a problem. The problem that we have is either opening our bricks, which Full Loss would probably increase because we're going to be drawing a lot of cards, or just, I feel like sometimes going second, we just don't have enough gas to break those unbreakable boards. However, most of the time with UCT, we can put a lot of pressure, and I think the deck is extremely well-rounded for the price that we are paying. So that is a 40-card main deck. Let's now quickly go on into the extra deck. Going on into the extra deck, it is all still super cheap. For the Link 4s, we have the World Sea Dragon Zealantis. We play this card because not only is it a fantastic way to get our Raging Phoenix into the graveyard, which also will special summon itself if a fire is destroyed, but also acts as fantastic interruption. Going second, we can just banish all of our opponent's field and then force them to come back, which actually enables a lot of OTKs with this deck, so that is the main reason that we do play the Zealantis. Speaking of the Raging Phoenix, we have one here. Thankfully, it's gone down in price. Used to be around 40 to 50 pounds a copy. It is now chilling at around 15 to 20. This is the most expensive card in the extra deck by far. Everything else is a ton cheaper. So would you play this deck without it? You can. However, it does lose a lot of its OTK ability. So I would just buy this card if you want to play this deck. This deck is still super cheap. I think you can get probably everything for like 60 pounds, 70 pounds, which is like what, $80 to $90 for all my American viewers out there. So I think you can build this deck very, very well on a budget and compete to a decently high level with the build I'm showing here. We also have the one Ambler Whale. This card is custom for Fire Kings and Dinos. Just if it's destroyed, Reborns, and Link 2. which is fantastic. And then if a link through a lower is destroyed, you can banish this card and destroy one card on the field. So again, just really, really good with your Promethean Princess plays. These are the link 4s. For the link 3s, we play one of the Promethean Princess. Super cheap now, thanks to the Bonanza set. Again, same can be said for the SP. Super cheap, again, from the Bonanza set. I think SPs are like £6 to £7 now for super rares, which is a lot better than the £100 they had at some point after release, which is absolutely crazy. These cards have really benefited from the reprints, and they're super affordable now, and a deck like this can really use them very, very well. We have one IP Masquerena, again, super cheap. Lets you just quick effect during the opponent's main phase, quick link, and the monster you link with cannot be destroyed by card effects, so just keep that in mind. One Heater for potential Monster Reborn plays. Your opponent Ash Blossoms you, go into a Heater, take their Ash, go into Promethean Princess, and continue comboing from there. We have one Nightmare Phoenix and one Nightmare Cerberus because we do get a lot of bodies onto the field. We can even have an SP that comes back into the middle zones, have a Phoenix and a Cerberus here, and is protected by battle and card effects. And most people don't remember that the Nightmare cards do that, and it's amazing. We have one of the Sunlight Wolf, super cheap, comes in a common from the Mega Pack 20 set. I say this card is pretty essential. If you don't go for the IP plays, you 9 times out of 10 go for the Sunlight Wolf to recover a keyring from the graveyard. Something else you can do is you have a Sunlight Wolf, you have a Zealantis. What you'll do is go battle phase attack with both Zealantis, pop Sunlight Wolf as they are co-linked. That will bring back the Raging Phoenix and you can push for an OTK. That's a really cool play I actually saw. We have one Relinquished Anima. We play level 1, so why not punish people that don't respect the zones? Shout out to Dan. We have one number 1 Infection Buzz King and one Garunix Eternity. This can be any rank 8. People say, why don't you play the Coach King? It takes 3 level 8s. You can play it in the side for time purposes, but in time, this deck doesn't have a problem because we can just send the Scatter Shot. However, if you want to play the Coach King, feel more than welcome. I like playing the Infection Buzz King because going first, you can make Buzz King, look at your opponent's extra deck, and sort of see what they're playing, and by that, you can time your interrupts knowing what your opponent is playing, which I think is invaluable information. And going second, you can destroy your opponent's cards on the field, which is, again, absolutely amazing. And you inflict damage equal to half of the attack. So again, in time, going second, this card is very good. Make it burn and continue pushing. Garunix Eternity, you make it usually on quick effect speed because of your Fire King Sanctuary. What does it do on XC summon? It destroys all other monsters on the field, and then you can detach one material from this card to target a spell trap card on the field, destroy it, and it permanently gains 500 attack, which is pretty nice actually. It gets over the 3k limit that most boss monsters have. We also have, if this card is destroyed while it has material, you can special summon a Fire King monster from your graveyard up to the number of materials this card had. So usually what you're going to do is you're going to make it, maybe detach one, it'll get destroyed. What you do is you use Garunix Eternity effect, and then you use your normal high avatar Garunix, so it will reborn, you'll reborn something else, Garunix will destroy a Kieran, Kieran will then summon something and blow up another card, so it's a mega punish if they destroy the Garunix. And for the last two, we have the Lagia and Dolka, the Dragon Brothers, as they're not dinosaurs. However, they do take 2 level 4 dinosaurs to be made. Lagia is able to just negate any spell, trap, or normal or special summon by detaching 2 materials, and Dolka is able to just negate any monster effect by detaching 1 material, and no, that is not once per turn, so you get 2 monster negations with 1 Dolka. So that is the end of this Fire King Dinosaur deck profile. I hope you guys really did enjoy. I believe this deck is super underrated, super underexplored. I don't think many people know that you can combo Fire Kings like this, and it's just a super fun way to actually play the game on a budget. So if you guys are wondering how do you play this deck, or you want to see a combo guide, make sure you do check out my previous video on this deck. I will link it into the description if I remember, and you guys can see a cool combo tutorial for this deck as well. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are enjoying Christmas, and I'll see you all in the new year.